is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, June 15th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a time for change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. The moment that we are not choosing, all worry disappears. The moment we are not choosing, all worry disappears. A great acceptance arises that this is how the mind has to be. This is the nature of the mind, and it is not your problem, any of our problems, because we are not the mind. If we were the mind, there would have been no problem at all. Then who would choose and who would link or think of transcending? And who would try to accept and understand acceptance? We are only a witness and nothing else. But we are being an observer who gets identified with anything that he finds pleasant and forgets that the unpleasant is coming just behind it as a shadow. We are not troubled by the pleasant side. We rejoice in it. The trouble comes when the polar opposite asserts, then we are torn apart. But we started the whole trouble. Falling from being just a witness, we became identified. The biblical story of the fall is just a fiction. But this is the real fall. The fall from being a witness into getting identified with something and losing your witnessing. Just try once in a while. Let your mind be whatever it is. Remember, you are not it. And you are going to have a great surprise. As you are less identified, the mind starts becoming less powerful because its power comes from your identification. It sucks your blood. But when you start standing aloof and away, the mind starts shrinking. The day you are completely unidentified with the mind, even for a single moment, this is the revelation. The mind simply dies. It is no longer there. Where it was so full, where it was so continuous, day in, day out, waking, sleeping, it was there. And suddenly, it is not there. Now, you look all around, and it is emptiness. It is nothingness. And with the mind, disappears the self. Then there is only a certain quality of awareness with no I in it. At the most, you can call it something similar to amness, but not inness. To be even more exact, it is isness, because even in an amness, some shadow of the I is still there. The moment you know it is isness, it has become universal. With the appearance of the mind, the self disappears. And so many things disappear that were so important to you, so troublesome to you. You were trying to solve them, and they were becoming more and more complicated. Everything was a problem, an anxiety. And there seemed to be no way out. The mind is just a procession of thoughts passing in front of you on the screen of the brain. You are an observer. We're all observers. But we start getting identified with beautiful things. Those are bribes. And once we get caught in the beautiful things, we are also caught in the ugly things. Because the mind cannot exist without duality. Awareness cannot exist without duality. And the mind cannot exist without duality. Awareness is non-dual. And the mind is dual. So just watch. Create a distance between you and your mind, whether it is good, beautiful, delicious, something that you would like to enjoy closely, or it is ugly. Remain as far away as possible. Look at it, just the way you look at a film. But people get identified even with films. There's only a screen and nothing else in the movie. Nobody is killed. There is no tragedy happening. Just a projection of a film. Just pictures moving on the screen. People laugh. People weep. And for 3 hours, sometimes, they're almost lost. They become part of the movie. They become identified with some character. If you are raising questions about people's reactions, then you cannot enjoy the film. But I can enjoy the film, but I don't want to cry. I don't see any enjoyment in it. I can see it as a film, but I don't want to become a part of it. These people are all becoming a part of it. You get identified with anything. People get identified with people. And then they create misery for themselves. They get identified with things. And then they get miserable if that thing is missing. Identification is the root cause of your misery, and every identification is identification with the mind. All you got to do, make the commitment, choose to step aside, let the mind pass. And soon, you will be able to see that there is no problem at all. The goose is out. Remember the story I told yesterday. You don't have to break the bottle, and you don't have to kill the goose either. How best to deal with the fear? Its effects. And it affects every one of us voraciously. From a vague uneasiness or knotted stomach to a dizzying panic, as if the world is ending. Where does it come from? And where does it go? None of us are exempt from it. It is the same question. Always the same question. All of our fears are byproducts of identification. You love a woman, and with the love in the same parcel comes fear. She may leave you. She has already left somebody and comes with you. There is a precedent. Perhaps she will do the same to you. There is fear. You feel knots in the stomach. You are too attached. You cannot get a simple fact. You have come alone in the world. You have been here yesterday also without this woman perfectly well, without any knots in the stomach. And tomorrow, if this woman goes, what is the need of the knots? You know how to be without her. and you will be able to be without her. The fear that things may change tomorrow. Somebody may die. You may go bankrupt. Your job may be taken away. There are thousands which may change. You are burdened with fears, and none of them are valid. Because yesterday, also, you were full of all these fears, unnecessarily. Things may have changed, but you are still alive. And man has an immense capacity to adjust himself to any situation. It is said that only man and cockroaches have this immense capacity of adjustment. That's why wherever you find man, you will find cockroaches. And wherever you find cockroaches, you will find man. They go together. They have a similarity. Even in faraway places like the North Pole or the South Pole, when man traveled to these places, he suddenly found that he had brought cockroaches with him. And they were perfectly healthy and living and reproducing. If you just look around the earth, you can see man lives in thousands of different climates, geographical situations, political situations, sociological situations, religious situations, but he manages to live, and he has lived for centuries. Things go on changing. He goes on adjusting himself. There's nothing to fear. Even if the world ends, so what? You will be ending with it. Do you think you will be standing on an island and the whole world will end, leaving you alone? Don't be worried. At least you will have a few cockroaches with you. What is the problem if the world ends? I've been asked this many times. But what is the problem? If it ends, it ends. It does not create any problem because we will not be here. We will be ending with it. And there will be no one to worry about. It will be really the greatest freedom from fear. The world ending means every problem ending, every disturbance ending, every knot in our stomachs ending. There is no problem. But everybody is full of fear. But the question is the same. The fear is part of the mind. The mind is a coward and has to be a coward because it doesn't have any substance. It is empty and hollow, and it is afraid of everything. And basically, it is afraid that one day you may become aware. That will be really the end of the world. Not the end of the world, but you're becoming aware. You're coming to a state of meditation where the mind has to disappear. That it's basic fear. Because of the fear, it keeps people away from meditation, makes them enemies of people. Like me, who are trying to spread something of meditation, some way of awareness and witnessing. They become antagonistic, not without any reason. Their fear is well-founded. They may not be aware of it, but their minds are really afraid to come close to anything that can create more awareness. That will be the beginning of the end of the mind. That will be the death of the mind. But for you, there is no fear. The death of the mind will be your rebirth, the beginning of really living. You should be happy. You should rejoice in the death of the mind, because nothing can be a greater freedom. Nothing else can give you wings to fly into the sky. Nothing else can make the whole sky yours. The mind is a prison. Awareness is getting out of the prison, or realizing it has never been in the prison. It was just thinking that it was in the prison. all fears disappear. I am also living in the same world, but I have never felt a single moment any fear, because nothing can be taken away from me. I can be killed, but I will be seeing it happen. So, what is being killed is not me. It is not my awareness. The greatest discovery in this life, the most precious treasure, is of awareness. Without it, all of us are bound to be in darkness, full of fears. And we will go on creating new fears. There is no end to it. We will live in fear. We will die in fear. We will never be able to taste something of freedom. And it was all the time our potential. Any moment we could have claimed it. But we never claimed it. It is our responsibility. All my life, I've been intrigued by power and the recognition I can take from it. Now that seems very confined and petty. And I sense also that there is a more authentic type of power, not dependent on other people or their reactions, more within myself. This is how the mind goes on playing games with you, all of us. Some of us are saying, all my life I've been intrigued by power and the recognition I can take from it. This is a truthful recognition, sincere. Many of the power-oriented people are not even aware of it. Their will to power remains almost unconscious. Others can see it, but they themselves cannot. So this will to power is the greatest sickness man has suffered from. All our educational systems, all our religions, all our cultures and societies are in absolute support of this sickness. Everybody wants his child to be the greatest man in the world. Listen to mothers talking about their children as if they have all given birth to Alexander the Great, Ivan the Terrible, Joseph Stalin, Ronald Reagan. 5 billion, 8 billion people are rushing toward power. One has to understand that this tremendous urge to power is arising from an emptiness within you. A man who is not power-oriented is a man, fulfilled, contented, at ease, at home, as he is. His very being is an immense gratitude to existence. Nothing more is asked for. Whatever has been given to you, you had never asked for. It is a sheer gift out of the abundance of existence. There are the two separate paths. One is will to power. The other is will to dissolve. There is certainly a power which has nothing to do with domination over others, but the power of a flower opening its petals. Have you seen that power, that glory? Have you seen the power of a starry night, not dominating anybody? Have you seen the power of the smallest leaf dancing in the sun, in the rain? Its beauty, its grandeur, its joy. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It does not even need somebody to see it. This is true independence, and it brings us to the source of our being, from where our lives are arising every moment. But this power should be called power because that creates confusion. It should not be called power. The very word power means over somebody. Even people of great understanding have not been able to see this point. In India, a religion exists, Jainism. The word Jaina means the conqueror. The original meaning must certainly have been what we are talking about. The person that arises within each and every one of us is a petal, opens, and the flower releases its fragrance. But I've looked deeply into the tradition of Jainism, and when they call a man to a conqueror, they also say about him that he has conquered himself. Somebody has to be conquered. They changed the Mahavira's name. His name was Vardhamana. Mahavira means the great conqueror, the great, victorious man. But the very idea that Mahavira has conquered himself, if reduced to simple psychological terms, means that he can stand naked in the rain, in the cold. He can remain hungry in the name of fasting continuously for months. In 12 years of discipline and preparation, he ate for only 1 year. For 11 years, he was hungry, not in one continuity. 1 month, he would remain hungry. Then, 1 day, he would eat. 2 months, he would remain hungry. Then, for a few days, he would eat. But in 12 years, he ate a total of only 1 year. For 11 years, he tortured his body. It needs a deep insight to understand that whether you torture others or you torture yourself, there is no difference at all, except that the other can defend himself. At least there is that possibility. If you start torturing yourself, there is nobody to defend you. You can do anything with your own body. This is simple masochism. It is not, in my understanding, finding the source of your inner being. So I would not like to call it power, because that would be, that word is contaminated. I'd like to call it peace, love, compassion. Now, we can choose the word, but power has been in the hands of violent people. Whether they were violent with others or with themselves does not matter. I think the people who were violent with others were more natural, and the people who were violent with themselves were absolutely psychotic. But the people who have tortured themselves have become our saints. Their whole contribution to the world is a discipline of how to torture yourself. There are saints who have slept on a bed of thorns. They are still there. And Varanasi, you can find them. It may be good showmanship, but it is ugly and has to be condemned. These people should not be respected. These are criminals because they are committing a crime against a body which cannot even go to the court. The second part has to do to be understood very well. Otherwise, your first desire of being intrigued by power will be there again in a different disguise. How will you start making efforts to find power over yourself? And that's what it seems to be. A power not dependent on other people or their reactions, more within yourself. Even the reference to other people and their reactions implies you are not thinking in a very different way. First, you were interested that people should give you recognition. You should be a powerful man, woman, a world conqueror, a Nobel Prize winner, or some other kind of stupidity. But everybody cannot be Alexander the Great. Neither can everybody become a Nobel Prize winner, nor can everybody be greater in some sense than others. This takes a turn, finding ourselves in a situation where this is not possible, or perhaps there is too much competition and you will be crushed. There are far bigger people, far more dangerous in the competition. It is better to withdraw within yourself and try to find a power that has no reference to other people, that is independent of other people. Even this match connection is enough for me to conclude that now you are going on another trip of the same kind. First you were trying to dominate others, now you will try to dominate yourself. That's what people call discipline. I'm sure some of you remember Aesop's famous fable. The mango season has come, and a fox is trying to reach the ripe mangoes, but they are too high. The fox jumps. Jump is not high enough to get them. She tries a few times, then seeing the impossibility, she looks all around to see whether anybody is watching or not. The little rabbit has been watching the whole scene. The fox walks away, not showing her defeat. But the rabbit asks, "Auntie, what happened?" The fox says to the rabbit, "My son, those mangoes are not yet ripe." If you change your desire for power, it should not be like Aesop's fable. You should first understand from where the desire for power has been arising. And it has been arising from your emptiness, inferiority. And the only right way to be freed from this ugly desire, to dominate, is to enter your emptiness, to see exactly what it is. We've all been escaping from it through our power trips. Now maybe put your whole energy not into torturing yourself, but into making any discipline of machoism, but simply into entering your nothingness. What is it? What is your emptiness? And there, roses blossom in your nothingness. There, you find the source of eternal life. You are no longer in the grip of an inferiority complex. You don't have any reference to other people. You have found yourself. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. This whole journey that we're on continuously, in these physical forms and in others, is about releasing and letting go all that we hold on to. It's like our bodies. They absorb like a sponge. So, we're talking about fear, worry, stress, anxiety, more worry, more fear. And so the body becomes constricted. It's not at ease. And you can always tell just by looking at people from a view perspective that they're not at ease. They're not relaxed. They're all in a hurry to find the secret. What's the secret? The secret is how to be free, but they believe how to be free is outside of them. And that is why on this planet today, nobody has really been free. They have never been free of themselves. The body's no different. When you know that you are not the body and you're watching the body as it relaxes, you let go of everything. You identify things. You don't judge them. And as you let go of them, they're gone. But we worry, see, we fear that if we let go of something, we'll lose it. And it's the opposite. You let go of something, it no longer haunts you. It's no longer following you like a shadow. It no longer stresses you. And knowing that you are not the body, that you are the God within it, And the God within it is true freedom. But unless you figure that out, you will be the body. So as the body relaxes, it becomes as light as a feather, not thinking, not a care in the world. And then we move into the now. And the now is really all we have. We don't have tomorrow. We don't have yesterday. Yesterday is the past. The past is dead. Tomorrow is the future. It doesn't exist. In the now, we create our future. The space between heartbeats. The now will always still the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. Always. Never, ever does not. And when it stills the mind, you walk outside the mind. You are no longer the mind. You are no longer the ego. You're an observer. You're a spectator watching. This is how you learn how to master the mind and the ego. So it no longer is your master. It is your servant. And this is how eventually the mind and the ego will become aware that they are no longer needed. This is part of our journey. And it has nothing to do with what's outside of us. It has everything to do with which is inside of us. Some of us, well, we all have memories and we all reminisce, and it's fun. It's good. We can always pull on those whenever we want. But we don't go there and stay there. And that's the past. The past is dead. It really doesn't exist unless you live in it. And some of us live in it. And we grab it, and we take it with us into a future that doesn't exist, and we create that future from that past, and we relive that past in that future. This is why so many people will say, well, they seem to be in the same place no matter what they do. This is why. And the future we create in the now. And in the now, we have peace. No mind chatter. None of those incessant thoughts, most of which aren't ours, flooding us 24/7. They're gone. They're not there because you're not there. So how do we stay in the now? How do we stay in the now? Because we have these thoughts that float by clouds. They're like clouds. They float by, and there's tens of thousands of them. And we've all done this. None of us are exempt. We grab onto a cloud. Next thing you know, we're focused on something. Then we're on a cloud. Then we're off something else. So our divine positive energy, our breath. Every time you float away, focus on your breath. Easy breath in through the nose, easy breath out through the mouth. And 3,000% of the time, you'll be in the now. Moment to moment. That's all we're focused on. You can't project 5 years from now because you're only in the now. And there isn't any guarantee that 5 years from now that you'll be there in that body. How can you project? How can you plan? How can you set a 5-year goal? It's absolutely crazy to do that. We are only in the now. We use our breath to stay in the now, and it is our natural state of being. And the now brings us to the God that we are. In the now, worry, stress, and fear are non-existent because you're only focused on the moment. And why is our breath divine and positive? Well, the soul enters the body, powers the body. The body starts functioning. Lungs, oxygen. So the body sustains itself to support the soul as the soul supports the body while the soul is in the body. So every time, your divine positive energy will keep you in the now. Now remember, you're not the body. None of us are. You're not your name. You're not your personality. You're not your character. But we know, in that case, that these bodies, our higher self, our spirit, our soul, our God source, our pure consciousness, the heart mind, the ego mind, subconscious mind, we're all one. And we are heaven on this earth. The soul is the heaven and the body is the earth. And every step we take, those of us who are awake, every step we take, we are creating paradise on this planet. Those that are asleep do not see that, will not until they are awakened. And we shine our light, naturally, outward. This light emanates from the God Force Love Light energy within us. It is absolute, the highest of the highest high, pure, deep, eternal love. And we flood everything and everyone. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. All of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep. Head to toe, inside and out, soaking everything. 24/7, nonstop. And you can feel this through your heart mind. Feel this energy, this love, massive, and being sent all the time with all of us. So we are turning this planet into a God paradise planet. Not far-fetched. Not wishful thinking. It is and will become a full reality. Now we look at the bodies, because we're not the body, and we see that there are these wheels of light, energy vortexes, is what they are. And, some people know about them, other people don't. And they're actually where you, all of us, the God, flows. So our God Force Love Light energy flows through these bodies, these chakras, these energy points. That branches out everywhere to all of our emotions and all of our organs. To 7 of these lights, these wheels of light, going from the tailbone up to the top of our heads. We see this redwood at the very spine, the base of our spines of the body. This deals with our survival, money, finding food, and it's blocked by fear. You're in a group, and you're out to survive the wilderness. Anyone who panics will not survive. Fear. And then we go to the sacral chakra. This is our pleasure, our sexuality, our joy, our bliss, our ease. And then it's blocked by guilt. And you ever done that? You know, you got everything's just rocking and rolling and moving. Everything's falling into place effortlessly. It's just all coming to you effortlessly. And you're just in seventh heaven. You're just enjoying it completely. But then, ego mind comes in and tells you, "It's gonna last forever. You're not gonna have this forever. You don't deserve to have this forever." And so that voice then takes out, and you don't have it. That's guilt. Then we move to the yellow wheel of light. It deals with our willpower. And it's blocked by shame. So your confidence and your willpower through the heart mind is blocked by shame. We move to the emerald green wheel of light. This is our ability to love, our heart chakra. But when it's blocked by grief, so when you're in grief, you do not have the ability to love. It totally blocks it. And then we move to the blue wheel of light, throat chakra. This deals with our truth, our communications. And it is blocked by lies. So your truth is blocked by lies, which is an influence through the ego mind. Then we go to the indigo wheel of light, third eye chakra. It deals with our insight, intuition. And it is blocked by illusion. And then we go to the crown chakra, very top of the head. This deals with our direct connection to the divine, cosmic energy. And it is blocked by ego attachment. So we bring, knowing this, that we're the gods running through these energy vortexes that affect all the organs and all the emotions of the body. There isn't one area that the God force, love, light, energy, doesn't saturate. Isn't that interesting? Yet most of us don't even know this. We think we're the body. So we can bring this energy, the divine positive energy, our breath, and the God force, love, light, energy, which we are, to the top of the head, of the body. Then we can condense it. We are love, we are God, and we are one. And in that time, this energy is compressed into pure, divine, omnipotently powerful energy, and it's released over the pineal gland. Now, pineal gland is very important to us while we're in these physical forms, because when it's fully healthy, vibrating at the highest frequency, it connects us to all the particles of existence. It allows us to be in many places at one time, but it is for us to discover many things. So when we pour this liquid energy over the pineal gland, you can view the pineal gland any way you choose. I see it as a rosebud, green ball. And when I pour this liquid energy over, instantaneously shifts into this massive rose, multicolored petals, a phenomenal fragrance, and sending out these shimmering waves, not intermittent either, I mean continuously, soaking me head to toe, inside and out. And it is the deepest of eternal love. And it is the deepest of eternal gratitude and peace and joy and bliss and prosperity and abundance. And it's just euphoric, absolute. And then I discover that the rose is not separate from me. I am the rose, and the rose is the God. And I am the God. we are awakened to a certain extent, or we wouldn't be in this meditation. And we reach out to other parts of us, since we are all one. And parts of us are asleep, and parts of us are awake. So we reach out to all of the off-worlders, celestials, galactic. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we are familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Feline, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution and our enlightenment and our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And in massive numbers, in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. We reach out to all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, and dark and beneath it. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. They come in the billions, and they are with us consciously now. Now we have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. We have the ascended masters: Manyan, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, El Moria, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. Now, both of them are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. Now, the archangels, their civilization have vibrated a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other, but we do meet with them. And when we meet with them, it's not like we acknowledge or know that this is a shift of energy or something different here. You know, we pick it up afterwards, and we usually know through our heart minds that was an angel. And they always deliver the same message, but it's sent in so many different ways. Isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies every single second? And it is. And you'll experience part of your bliss. Now, they can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands. You want to know? You want that? You desire that? Ask them. At any time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. Ascended masters have mastered ascending and ascension into physical form, out of physical form, hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical form, are mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Some of us will learn enough to understand that when we decide to leave these bodies, we will know that we are the light. That we will know we don't follow the light, we are the light. And then we call out to all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions and bear with us now consciously. We call out to all the light energy beings, those who are on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, and those out there everywhere. Now, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now, those here who have decided to hold the forms, enter the forms, in all color, sizes, shapes, and configurations. With these eyes that we have, we only see 1% of what is on this planet. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. And they come in the Gugaplexes from everywhere. And all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. One Gugaplex fills the sacred space in this universe. Not any room for even a smidgen more. They come from trillions of universes from every direction. And all of them, the ones on this planet, are all with us now, consciously. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God force love light energy isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify. And it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. This light emanates from the gods within each and every single one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. And this is the highest of the highest high of the deepest, purest, eternal love. And we are flooding this planet. And we're flooding all of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep. We're flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe is all what? Non-stop, eternal. We begin to ascend above this planet. As we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It's reflecting everywhere. It's like trillions of laser lights, all multiple colors, flashing back and forth with all of us gathered throughout existence in this meditation. We see the origin of the light reflection, and we notice that these are tiny microscopic mirrors. We enter them, and we discover that we all are learning and teaching each other. Learning from, teaching to. Always. Nonstop. We learn from ourselves, we teach ourselves, we learn from each other, we teach each other. It's constant. Student, teacher, teacher, student. We are never alone. We continue to ascend, and we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light we created. It reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we've created. It reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and result. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we've created that emanates from the God source within each and every single one of us. This protects us from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, with a white fire armor, not like that of a knight, but much more. And it cannot be penetrated. It cannot be invaded. No attachments, no demon possessions, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, period. They'll vaporize. They come anywhere near us. It's impregnable. We are protected 24/7, literally. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, deceit, deception, manipulation, envy, you will lower your vibrational frequency enough to allow the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flood again as you create a breach in your white fire armor. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, which we've created. We can literally transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can literally cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love, deep eternal gratitude, deep eternal peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we've created. And this reminds us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows, where the sun sets and the sun rises. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the trees, the forests, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're the animals, the soils, the clouds, the sky. We're everything. Everything is us. And so the next time you see a sunset or a sunrise, or an ocean front, or a clear, starry lit night, it is you. You're the beauty. You're the glory. You're the divine perfection. You are the love. You are the God. We continue to ascend above this planet. As we do, some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Because we can. And we come into full contact with this massive crystalline tower which we've created. It's larger than a solar system. In the center of the column, there is this massive oblong sphere with a golden white ball of light surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. And they're all sending out massive waves, soaking us all, saturating us head to toe, inside and out. And the golden white ball of light is pure, deep, eternal love. And then comes pure, deep, eternal gratitude, pure, deep, eternal peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, prosperity, abundance, tranquility, benevolence, well-being, great wealth. It's endless. And then we discover that it is us. It is the gods within each and every one of us. This is a reflection of who and what we are. At the top of this crystalline tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, nonstop, eternally, like it's doing now, flooding all of us head to toe, inside and out, with pure, deep, eternal love. Endless. All of us are drops in this golden ocean. We all contain the essence of this golden ocean. The drops of the golden ocean are drops. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere, it's that center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It houses over 1,400 of our meditations in perpetual motion. You can feel the energy through your heart minds. It's massive. All of the highest intent. Hundreds of million of us on and off world of complete liberation of this planet. A transformation to a God planet paradise. And this is flooding all of us, head to toe, inside and out, nonstop. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And that's why it continues to intensify, and that's why it continues to expand. Look at the trees, look at the rivers, look at the stars, and you will understand action, less action. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Certainly the river is flowing toward the ocean, but you cannot call it action because there is no will forcing it to go toward the ocean. It is very easygoing, no hurry, no haste, not even the longing that it should reach, no competition with other rivers that perhaps they may reach ahead of it. It is simply going, singing, and dancing its dance through the mountains, through the valleys, through the plains, not worried whether it reaches the goal or not. Every moment is so beautiful and so precious that who cares about the tomorrow? Willpower has been used to create a false personality in each and every one of us. Willpower is another beautiful name for the ugly entity called the ego. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here June 16th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.